guys, hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, today we're gonna be doing an eat me with me video, more like a mukbang kind of video, but I wouldn't say that because it's not really that. I saw Kim Kai eat this and then B Loves Life was doing it, and everybody went around like trying to do this video. I'm not a big fan of cucumbers. I don't like them, but something about when I heard that there was rice in this, I was like, I'm on it. I'm a rice addict. Rice is like ugali to me, which is what we Kenyans eat. It's like a cornmeal thing, but it's like, that's what I do. Any stews that I have, whatever, I'm always eating with rice. So yeah, this is it right here. So I have cucumber, sausage that I seasoned a little bit, and steamed rice. I'm gonna use my hands, no spoons needed. I have tapatio, my in-laws love that one, so I'm gonna use that for my hot sauce. Warning, I'm a messy eater, so if you don't like people that are kind of messy with their food, this may not be the one for you. I got my ice water here because I don't like room temperature water. I tend to put lots of ice in my water. That's the only way to get me to really drink a lot of water. So I have that. Now, this, I think when I first tried it, I just noticed that the rice with the sausage does this something slippery in your mouth, kind of, and then you add the crunch of the cucumber and all the taste together. That crunch just does something to you when you eat this. That's what I really noticed here. So yeah, so let's get into it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna use my hands, as I said, put the sausage together. Let's just eat. And then I think Kim Kai does it like this. Like she'll buy it like a whole cucumber and do it. Let's put the sauce on it. So I just added a little bit of hot sauce on the sausage. So yeah, I have my phone here because I can't remember nothing if I don't use it, to try to talk about some things. Okay. So, one of the questions I get a lot is whether I'm still in the medical field. And the answer is no. I left the medical field in 2017, pretty much when I met my husband and I got pregnant. I was really sick in the first few months of my pregnancy. So, and the temp agency that I was with for 2 years pretty much kept moving me around to different departments, and I was just really over it. So it just kind of all worked out that I just really was not feeling well, and I really wasn't sure whether I was going to be hired in whatever department I was. So it was just a really good time to kind of decide on things, and I just pretty much talked to my boyfriend at the time and told him, like, you know, I think I'm going to just quit and forget about the whole temp agency thing. Like, I'm not feeling good. And he was all for it. He was like, okay, you know, that's important as long as the baby's fine and whatever. So yeah, I did that. And really right now I'm at a point where I'm not even sure where I want to be with this medical field thing. I realized that from doing that work for 2 years, that I really did not enjoy being at the front as I thought I wanted to. I was doing mainly administrative work. Oh God, the battery's low. So, and doing a lot of insurance stuff and things like that, and I really did not enjoy it. The pressure was so much that it was just so much. I was pulling my hair out. I dreaded going to work on Mondays. And I was like, this is not the life, you know? That's not me. So, that is so good. So, I did that, and then, so now I'm not sure where I stand with medical field. I was a medical assistant, pretty much, for the front desk. You know, the people that check in patients, the people that verify your insurance, the people that make sure that they call you if there's something going on that, you know, you need to be seen and things like that. Now the people part I really did enjoy. I'm a people person. I'm very lively, outgoing, and things like that. But it just got too much. And I think me being pregnant kind of allowed me to get out of that in a weird way. And maybe it was just a sign that it wasn't for me. So now if I'm thinking about the medical field, I might consider being behind the scenes. Like maybe people that, like, you know, give medical records, like you call them and they scan things and all that stuff. Behind the scenes, not so much the front desk. So that's where I'm at with the medical field. I really am not even thinking about it. The other thing I wanted to discuss that people ask me a lot, you know what, anywhere you go now, is anywhere I go now is baby number 2. Something always happens like after you have the first baby, and the baby's like 2 or whatever, and they're walking. People start asking me about baby number 2. Now guys, I am 37 this November, and I believe after 35 you start getting warnings, and if you want to get pregnant, sometimes there's a lot of challenges and difficulties. And when I think of that, I mean, it scares me, but I also believe in God, and I believe that if something's meant to happen, it will happen. So I have that fear right now, really. Financially, me and my husband are not at like the best place right now to try to have another kid, and I really felt like my first son, things were a little bit easier because I had help with my mom-in-law pretty much for the first year of his life. And I mean, she's still helping us, but she was available. And with a second baby, it would be us on our own, and that's scary, you know. So I think about things like that, like pretty much with the thought of having a second baby, there's so much more thinking involved, because now I'm kind of rationalizing things, and I'm like, okay, how would it work? Like, would I be working and then leaving him or her at a certain age to go back to work and things like that? With my son, I didn't have to do that. So all this stuff has really been on my mind when I think about it. But I also told myself when I hit 40, I'm not going to be thinking about having a baby. There's just no point to put myself through that. Having a baby after you're over 30 is a little bit different. I feel like my energy is just really shot. I feel like I want to be having margaritas somewhere in Jamaica, but I can't. I'm chasing after a toddler, and I feel it. My bones are cracking, and you know, nothing better than cold ice water when you're enjoying something really good. So I'm really at that point where I'm not really sure. My husband's like on board. He's excited, like, sure, we can have another one. And he's also thinking, okay, maybe next year, maybe another year, like in 2 years. But all this is like, we still rationalize it. We were like, okay, well, then how would this work? Like, would I leave my job and things like that? So it's just been like back and forth of us discussing it, and then we leave it alone for a while, and we're like, maybe, you know, hey, if one is what we're meant to have, that's fine. But then I look at it too, like, it's really nice to have brothers and sisters sometimes to play around with. My first pregnancy was really smooth, so I don't know, like, I'm nervous, like, will things be different because I'm older? The place where I used to work, the place, she had her kid, like her first kid at 40, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, do I really want to do that? Because then I wouldn't have time to really figure out what I want to do with my life, also with as far as career. So that brings me to the next thing. I quit my job about 6 months ago to really spend time with my son. My mom-in-law was helping us for a while, for like a year or two. But I noticed that my mom-in-law doesn't speak English. She speaks Spanish. So my son was being home with her a lot of the time. He had trouble, like, pretty much speaking. And I just noticed a big improvement. The minute I started taking him home, like 2 months in, I would turn on the TV, we'd put on learning shows, we'd sing, we'd dance. He started talking perfectly. So a lot of people, like, where he goes, like anytime he goes somewhere, they're just like amazed, like he's 2 and something, because he's speaking clearly very well. So that was one really good thing that I noticed, just the learning went really up. And also as far as discipline, like, it's really nice to be home to be able to like set limits, because with, you know, grandmas, they don't get that. They don't get the limits as much. They're kind of like, oh, this is my grandbaby, like, you know. So that was one thing. The other thing was I missed out on a lot of stuff, and sometimes I think back and I feel really like guilty and I regret it, like, man, you know. I think the one big event that I remember that I didn't miss was him walking. So these are all like things that kind of played in my mind, and I was like, you know what, I'm not like working at my dream career or anything. My husband was like, okay, I mean, I told him, like, hey, you have to hold down the fort until your son is like, you know, a certain age, and then we'll figure it out. And he was like, okay, well, you know, if that's what you feel is good for you, then okay. So I've pretty much been home, and I really like it, because although it's really hard and it's challenging and stressful, it's just great to have like certain routines with him, and like to set limits and be like, no. Hey guys, so my camera got cut off, so I'm gonna try to continue where I left off. I just reheated my food. So yeah, I was just, as I was saying, I pretty much quit my job. Yeah. And it's been great because I'm getting to bond with my son. He's learning way more, speaking so much better and things like that. So it's been great. The other reason was I read a quote somewhere on Instagram that pretty much said like, the reason you're something like struggling is because you're in your comfort zone or you're leaving it or something like that. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see that post. And that really was like, one morning I was heading to work and that really inspired me to like kind of shake things up and try something else. So one of the things that I did was I started doing people's hair. I haven't had a lot of clients, you know, but it's a work in progress, but at least I tried to. And I realized that the more I practice, I can really get good at this. Because I mean, I've been doing my hair for a while now, and I was just like, why not do other people's hair? I'm mainly gonna like focus on weaves and crochet braids and things like that, but it's really nice. So it's kind of on hold right now because we're trying to figure out like situation with, you know, my mom-in-law is not really available as much to help me because she's helping her daughter's children as well. I mean, my son's cousins. So it's been kind of hard because you know, if you're doing people's hair, you need to be able to really focus on their hair instead of running around after your kid constantly and things like that. So I'm still eating. I just reheated the food. Yeah. Anyway, so that was one reason for quitting my job. The other thing was just to focus on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube and Instagram really can be a great source of income or a side hustle. So I'm really trying to put that effort in there to have that side hustle so I can have extra income. And you know, not be like so stressed out to go back out there in the corporate world now. I'm just kidding. I mean, just to be out there. Yeah, I want to talk about motherhood now. How is motherhood compared to the first few months to now that my son is almost 3? It is way better. It is exhausting. Oh my God. Physically is really exhausting. Chasing after toddlers constantly is hard. Your eyes have to be here in the back of your head because you're constantly moving and they're doing different things, just trying you to see what your limits are. But it's nice to kind of have some routines figured out, some things that work, so you don't panic, because the first few months of life when you bring them home, you're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Another thing that I want to discuss with regards to motherhood, I even saw a post about this, is the struggle with your identity and figuring out who the hell you are. I know who I used to be before. Who do I want to be now? And does anything that I used to be matter now? Since this life is everything now, it's priority, you know? So I'm struggling with that. I know I'm able to like take care of myself way more now because he's able to just play, you know, by himself, and I could do my hair, I can, you know, do pedicures and things like that to try to regain some part of myself. My weight is still really high right now and I can't dress the way I want to, but I know it's all work in progress. But it's been getting better. He's sleeping like so much more, and I just feel like I'm way better than I felt, like I would say when he was like 1 year old, like the first year when he was like 1. Oh my God. So yeah, I've noticed that. The other thing that people asked me was if I've ever been with a like dated Kenyan guy or whatever, and I haven't. All my exes were from other parts of Africa. I've never really dated Kenyan. Anytime I was around Kenyan guys, they never really give me the time of day, and the ones that did, I really had no interest in getting to know. So I think it's because I've been here most of my life. I came to the US when I was like 10, so I don't have that connection as much. My Swahili is terrible. I still know how to cook Kenyan food, and I speak my Kenyan mother tongue, or my other language that I speak, Luo and stuff like that. So I really feel that way. Like when you are somebody who comes from another country and you meet with people that are maybe coming here when they're older, there's some disconnect, and I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons. Yeah. Anyway, so if you guys have any questions below, just leave them. My battery is like acting up, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. My food is almost gone, so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll do more videos once you guys have questions for me and stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.